I've spent years trying to understand the language of insects, but sometimes it's not the words that matter. It's the silence between them. There's a ritual I perform every dawn, not for them, but for me. Something I can explain, only feel. It's not about control, not really. It's about listening, even when the world is too loud to hear anything at all. I don't know why I do it. Maybe I'm just trying to make sense of the chaos, one tiny, silent moment at a time. In the end, maybe the insects aren't speaking to me at all. Maybe they're just watching, waiting, and I'm the one who's lost in translation. So what exactly are we talking about? It's not just about insects. It's about the rituals we perform, the compulsions we follow, the quiet acts we repeat without ever questioning why. These rituals are not logical. They are not practical. They are born from something deeper, a need to make sense of the chaos, to impose order where there is none. It's the way we collect things, the way we arrange them, the way we ritualistically interact with them. Not for their utility, but for the sense of control it gives us. These acts are not just about the insects. They are about the human condition, our need to create meaning, to find patterns in the noise, to feel like we're in charge of something. And yet, there's something sacred about it, something almost spiritual. Like, we're not just talking about insects. We're talking about our own connection to the world, to each other, to the unseen forces that shape our lives. You think you're far from the chaos of the natural world, but your thoughts are still shaped by the silent, ancient forces that govern life. Insects don't just live in the dirt. They live in the fabric of your mind. Every ritual, every habit, is a thread pulled from the same loom that weaves the instincts of the insect world. You don't realize how much of your behavior is inherited, not chosen. The rituals you follow are not yours alone. They are echoes of 1,000,000 years of survival. You are not separate from them. You are part of the same rhythm, the same pulse, the same breath. To ignore the insect world is to ignore the blueprint of your own being. It is to deny the roots of your thought, the origins of your habit, the quiet wisdom of the unseen. You should care, because the world you think you control is already controlled by those you cannot see. And the rituals you follow are part of that unseen order. The first ritual began in the shadow of the first fire, when humans first learned to kindle light from darkness. It was not yet a tool, but a sacred act, a bridge between the known and the unknowable. With every spark, they whispered names, not of gods, but of the insects that had guided them through the dark. It was a language of survival, an unspoken pact between predator and prey. As time passed, the rituals evolved, but the core remained, a reverence for the unseen. The insect was no longer just a guide, but a mirror, reflecting our own fragility, our own fleetingness in the grand tapestry of existence. In the end, the rituals were not about control, but about communion. To whisper to an insect is to admit that we are not the masters of this world, only its temporary guests, learning its secrets, one wing beat at a time. It's not about fixing things. It's about feeling like you're still in control, even when everything's falling apart. You repeat the same motions because it feels safer than the unknown. It's like trying to hold on to a dream that's slipping through your fingers. You do it because you're afraid of what happens if you stop. Afraid of the silence, the questions, the truth that might come out. It's not about being right. It's about not being lost. Even if the world doesn't understand, you keep going. Because you have to. I begin by gathering the tools of my craft. The vial of distilled water, the magnifying lens, and the soft cloth. Each object holds a ritualistic weight, a silent promise to the unseen world. The insects are brought in with care, each one cradled in its own tiny world. I watch them move, not as pests, but as fellow travelers in an unspoken language. I arrange the insects in a pattern that feels natural, as if they are following their own unspoken order. There is a rhythm to their placement, a quiet symmetry that only I can see. The air is still. The room hums with the soft pulse of life. I take a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment, the thin veil between what is known and what is not. This is not preparation. This is communion, a silent agreement between me and the creatures I have chosen to care for, to understand, to listen to. The second step is the mechanism, the way the ritual translates intent into action. It's not just about what you say, but how the world listens. You channel your breath into the tool, letting it become an extension of your will. It's not control, but resonance, a tuning fork for the unseen. The mechanism is a bridge between the conscious and the subconscious. It's not about force, but about allowing the ritual to become a channel. This is where the ritual becomes more than a gesture. It becomes a pact, a silent agreement that the unseen is listening, that the earth is not empty. In the moment of contact, the world shifts. It's not just the earth that responds. It's the space around you, the air, the silence that becomes something else. The ritual doesn't end with the dance. It begins to unravel, like a thread pulled from a tapestry. There is a moment where the tension dissolves and the insects seem to exhale with the weight of the performance. In this quiet shift, the boundaries between performer and observer blur. The insects are no longer just participants. They become the silent witnesses of their own transformation. It's in this suspended moment that the true magic of the ritual becomes apparent, not in the spectacle, but in the surrender. The insects are not obeying a command. They are following a pulse they can't name. This is the clever twist. The ritual is not about control, but about dissolving the illusion of separation. The insects are not subjects. They are mirrors, reflecting a truth forgotten how to see. In the end, the ritual is a quiet rebellion against the chaos of the world, against the noise of our own minds. It's a moment of grace where everything is still and the world is listening. There is a rhythm to the world that we've overlooked, a frequency that pulses beneath the soil, through the roots, through the veins of every living thing. Insects don't just follow the light or the wind, they respond to an invisible pulse, the kind of biological hum that we can't hear but feel in our bones. We think of them as creatures of instinct, but perhaps they are more like us, aware, responsive, attuned to the same silent language that guides all life. To call them irrational is to misunderstand the language they speak. It's not chaos, it's a complex, layered system of signals and signals we've yet to decode. Maybe the rituals we observe aren't just acts of survival. They're echoes of a deeper intelligence, a kind of memory encoded in the very fabric of nature. You see, the rituals we perform are not just about control. They are about meaning. The act of feeding the ants, the repetitive motions, the silent conversations, they are all fragments of a language we've invented to make sense of the chaos. It's like building a bridge between two worlds, one of logic, one of instinct. We don't understand the ants, but we try to speak their language, to feel their rhythm, to be part of something greater than ourselves. In the end, maybe the rituals aren't about the ants. Maybe they're about us, about the need to create order, to find purpose, to feel that we're not just surviving, but thriving in the madness. So perhaps the real whisperer is not the insect, but the human, the one who dares to dance with the dark, to make sense of the nonsense, to find beauty in the absurd. Before you go, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And tell us in the comments what you'd like us to make next. We read every single one. Thank you so much for watching. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end.